Okay. We need to approve a vice chair. So.
That's how that works.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Well, Brian and stuff I have to say is going to be spoken to be so I guess maybe we could take a lap so we get everybody like I said, I think the summer one is a pressing issue. It's stretched out and stuff like that. Do you have anything?
Nothing. Nothing. I invited Leslie, so if you can get her out of here.
I'm just looking at this. So you have 2 appointments that are expiring. Chip, were those council appointments?
Oh, yeah, I need to update those. Those are me and Stephanie. I just need to update those. We've been re-ups. So I just need after this meeting, then I will change it to the next 4 years. Okay, so landlord registration update. Since I haven't seen you since you talked to everybody, can you give us a rundown of how that went and where we are sitting currently, things that we possibly need to do? Just give me an update. Give everybody an update.
Did the presentation, Gary,
did anybody bring up any issues with it specifically or nuances to it?
it was too cheap.
Too cheap?
Yeah.
I guess the question is it too cheap per property? Or in general? Like, if somebody owns 6 properties, is it because we're doing 5. So, is it, they think it should be 10 or 15? I mean, did anybody have, other than doing that, did anybody have a suggestion as to what would make them feel comfortable?
I think they would check this with the towns.
Yeah, they do. Okay.
Most of us will.
Okay.
So, may I speak?
Yes, please.
From the book treasurer's position, so this would fall under my department. Okay. So one of the biggest issues for us is staff. My girls are in full capacity right now, and we're trying to revamp things anyways to try to take on more to help the department heads. So, working through some things, but this would just be another layer added on that we would be responsible for. Right? You guys are retaining the monies. We're not benefiting anyway from it. So, from our perspective, that's one of the big hiccups. I get it, it's 2040, but when my girls have time and all of the data, keep it updated, they don't have their updated permit, who's going to be the one that follows up on that? It would come from my department. Right? So we feel a lot of liability comes back to us. We just don't have that, feasibly don't have that knowledge to do. Right? So yeah, that's one of the biggest things as far as like the funds, we'd have to get that back to you guys, put it into your accounts, the database, and then just keeping it updated. I can tell you we're going to have several landlords, and I'm sure Chip knows them. I can tell you several that I know that probably would never come in. So then you're going to have the other ones that are going to say, well, they're not going to do it, why should I do it? Right? So we in the utility office can probably tell you the ones, right, that definitely need to come in. And another thing too, what are they really going to benefit from? The landlord per se. I guess that's what we didn't see. What is the landlord themselves? If it's somebody, the Bowers, for instance, I'm just going to use this for reference. They do a great job. They come from a lot of homes, and their homes are well kept. So what are they going to get in return for registering? Yes, because they can, on their own, go to Zillow and post their homes, right, for rent. And folks can go to Zillow to do that. So that was one of the concerns. So how do you make it worthwhile for all of those landlords to see a true benefit from it? Because right now there is none. Right? Yeah, the local contact, I know that we had talked about that, but that was another issue for the landlords. Some of them don't have that feasibility, so who does that fall back on? I know that was one of the requirements, but you said that you had somebody that locally would represent the landlord. Who is going to mitigate that? Right, that's another concern. I mean, I know Chip's not going to do it. She's got too much on her plate. So, but again, is that going to require more time from our office that we are not going to have once we get everything else going? And then the housing standards, those are followed by the building inspector, and then of course we have Scott Leatherman, who is the code enforcement officer as well. So, again, we feel that there's a benefit to it, but yet there's still so many holes within this ordinance that we couldn't support it.
Okay. I guess I do have a doubt few things. So, for the benefits part of it, I think our group was in hopes that if we can get all of the people to follow this and pay, we could build up a fund to, minus the dollars, there are going to be people that wouldn't do improvements to the front or the outside of their rentals without it possibly being half off for free. The first thing that comes to mind for me is we do the 50/50 sidewalk. And when I talked to the mayor about this, if it was something like home or landlord wants to replace the sidewalk because it's totally and very existing. And they can do 50/50 sidewalk, and we can they can come to us and say, hey, I'd like to do this. Can I borrow money? What do you need to borrow? You would be able to help them out with a percentage or whatever, probably a case-by-case basis to help them pay for that. So there's less money out of their pocket, and then it would deal with pedestrians and just facilities around them. Their home would be in better shape. Number one, to look better for the community, because that's really what we're trying to do. Is we want to help people make their properties look better and make them so they look like it's a really nice and really kept and really nice place to live. I think initially what we were told was code enforcement would be the person that would be taking us out of this. So I don't know how that ties into.
As far as explain that a little bit.
So code enforcement would, if said landlord would pay, code enforcement would go to them and say, XYZ, you need to pay this by here, or there'll be a fine that's handed by him, and then you have to come and pay. Aside from that, I don't know the nuances of how that works in your area of getting the accounts. I'm assuming that the hard part is getting the account set up, getting everything in order. Once it's there, and people, as long as people can pay, or if there's something set up online that people can pay, then possibly can take some of that away from you guys. So I guess
We still have to receive it anyway. So even if they pay online, we still have to receive it online. Because otherwise, we're not going to balance. So just keep that part in mind. And like with Scott, if there is somebody that hasn't come in and paid, we have to notify dispatch then notify Scott, and then Scott is the one that would go out and serve notice that they have fulfilled their obligation. But, and two, we have to make sure that this, if it does go through, it's in quick time this is given to landlords. Yeah, so that they're understanding, so that we don't, because here's my fear, and Chip, you've been helping with this a little bit if you feel the same, but my fear is we're going to have some landlords that are going to start, they're going to call our office. Because we get a lot of the calls from utilities, if there's, like the water issues, we get those calls. I don't want a landlord to call our office and start on my premise. That's not fair to our citizens. To take that additional responsibility and burden on, especially if they're upset, I'm happy to talk to those, but again, I don't feel that it's their responsibility to take that when we have to deal with our utility customers.
I understand, I'm going to interject, but I mean, just from my feelings, my 2 cents, they are, the majority of them are the most money hungry. I don't think we're going to have any money because you look, I'm sorry if they're watching, but you drive down Oak and North Street. They didn't put the full driveway in because it's too much money. They stopped short and left 3 feet of limestone. You're not going to get, the people that are coming to you are going to milk you for all they can instead of using it for the best resource. And I mean, they're always looking for legal, I feel like. Any way that they can get something free, or held off for another week, another month. That's just my 2 cents.
And I don't want to speak for everybody, but from my perspective, if that's what it takes for them to make their house or their property look a little nicer and possibly raise taxes of houses around them for assessments, I'm not saying I like volunteering rooms, but at the same time, that's what it would take to finish out the blackout. Help somebody that just doesn't have the money to do it, kind of thing. But I see what you're saying. It's what I guess for you, I'm assuming that because of the way things are, utilities goes into paying your people and all of that. I know that we loan out money. Chip, could we in our housing authority budget allocate money towards that office to maybe make it
I don't know. I'll check into that. I'll check into what the legality of that is.
And I'm not saying that I just want to know if that's an option, and then I guess for you, what is there a dollar? What things would make it worth it for you to do it? I know that's on the spot, but I don't know if we can allocate resources or money for that, but
again, I don't know how much time this is going to take. We don't do this for any other boards, and I don't know who I would specifically allocate to do that, right? Because I have 2 building permits to collect AP, and then I have FB. So it would just be trying to figure out once we reconfigure some things that not all my girls know this because we haven't come through reviews yet, but trying to figure out who would have the capability to have that workload to take on. Because again, we don't do this for any other board. So anything that we take in is a straight city permit, or like the street cuts. We're going to have some other ones that are forthcoming, but those are actual go into our budgets.
So I guess I want to leave you here. Should find out first.
I'll look into it.
If there's something that we can allocate to you that would maybe make it a little bit more acceptable, I guess. I think also it's probably this side of the town too. There's other times that on other sides of the campus because the uncertainty going to entail? Is it going to be 3 people at party that are going to complain about it? Is it going to be 28 people that are going to be we don't know that. I guess at the end of the day, I know that some landlords are probably going to take the break to get that, and that couldn't be further from the truth. And I get what you're saying about Zillow and everything, and our realtors know specific people that have rentals, but we don't know everyone. So it's, for us, it would be a tool to begin to help people get housing, because while it is easy to put it in Zillow, everybody does it. So even just having the list would be fantastic to just to help people.
So here's my, and I'm going to say aloud, and I apologize if I can go in the wrong direction, but my recommendation would be to at least start compiling the list. Right? Bring some of those landlords in then and have conversations with them. What would they like to see? If there is an ordinance passed that says all landlords need to pay this fee, have you guys talked to anyone about this?
No.
I mean, that would be my recommendation, because we've got some really good landlords that probably have some really great feedback that they could give to you, right? I'm sure that they would love to utilize this if it's going to benefit them, right? But they have to see the value of it too. So bring them in, have conversations, do some brainstorming with them. Even, I know Jennifer's a realtor, I don't know if anybody else is a realtor, I apologize, but maybe bring in a couple of the other realtors in town just to see what their thoughts are on it as well. You have, right?
We got that for others. No, I do.
We could give you a list of some of the realtors or the landlords that we would recommend to include in those conversations. Because I think that they would be able to give you some very good feedback.
I also, I have a few landlords that people come in and also want both statutes as well. If you're, I guess, in my mind, if you're a landlord, you have these properties because you can make money. So, in my mind, I know that money and dollars count every dollar on the other thing. Let's just say we agree on $10 or $20 on property, and we have 5 properties. At the end of the day, that's $100. If that's not feasible for you, then I think that's not honest. I guess I'm not trying to put people back in the same times. If we are going to have the benefits for it, then they can take advantage of those. If that $100 is from the beginning, it may be advantageous to them to do that if we are able to do things for the property outside of 50% of or even agency which is one of the things to do improvements to the home. So,
Who wish for that?
we, like our program, we have different ways of doing people. So that has to yeah. So, did anybody, you said that maybe it was too low, but nobody had a thought of 5's too low, maybe I'd like to see X, Y, and Z.
I'm going to be honest with you, I can't remember. I can't remember anything sometimes. I'm in learning over what was important. So.
And I think we kind of arrived at $5 because that's one of that's basically what we define like that we would have to look around and find out $5 is pretty standard in any of business.
Way high.
Right.
$150.
Yeah. And while you can't start there, right? Let's say we start at $10 and we're not building a fund enough to be able to help the amount of people that are actually taking advantage of it, then maybe it's something we over the 5-year process we do that.
you go wrong, you may find that those type of things to be helped with. Right, so you may justify that increase.
Right.
Because again, I think you're going to have feedback from folks as this petition goes through.
And I think for me, in the back of my mind, if we could do something like this, good or bad or indifferent, people are we're going to get some exposure. A lot of people don't know about this. So people may look into that and see, oh, they do have this stuff. And they are paying or people may think they're just trying to get money from this so they can have it for themselves. And I think that's another misconception too. I think there are some people that think they get paid to do this. Like we've refurbished it. We've redone some kind of it. There are some people that thought that we got profits from that. And that is not it. Any profits we get go back in other funds so that we can continue to purchase and beautify the community so that people want to move here and people want to live here. So I think
I would say, I would recommend that you make it be. The more that people know about it, I'm a huge proponent of he does such a great job with that.
yeah.
Being able to just have that open, who you are, what you do, and why you exist.
I don't think I have anything about this. Anybody? No, I like all of it. I think some of the first stuff from January, I think for us, with everybody knows, and maybe I'll get with you and help check. Just get it we can contact them and see if we can maybe the January meeting or February meeting and talk about it. Again, we would like, and I think this could be really good for this, for the city, it could be good for the housing authority, it could be good for the community. I think everybody likes anything to happen out there, and we're working on this for what we do. So, we want to refine it and try to get everybody on board for it. So, hopefully, we got some answers. Once we get some of these answers, I'll probably ask you to come back, and then we can kind of talk about things, and then maybe we can represent for the meetings. If nobody else, I'm going to take the resolution. I appreciate you coming in. It was very, very helpful.
Thank you.
We can move down, no apps, administration. Is that house on Walnut Street still? Does anybody know? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're cleaning it out now.
Oh, they are? Okay.
And another forewarning on it, there is a water leak somewhere, and I don't know that it's completely fixed. They're not running. Just an FYI.
Do we know? Okay.
We can give you lots of that kind of feedback, so.
Got it. Who does Lebanon report to?
Gary Perry,
He reports to Gator.
What's the scope of his job?
code enforcement. I know, that's how I.
What is that?
Sorry. I don't want to dabble in it, and so I don't want to learn any more about it. So, yes, sorry.
I'm not here in good faith.
You're not very good?
I guess Tim has an idea what I'm talking about.
I'm
Chip is still in it. It hasn't been updated in a weekend. So I guess I can talk about it. I remember Jennifer, I think Jennifer told me she knew who it was and she thought that they would do a good job. So I'm hoping that that's the case. I'm also hoping to see foundation work done because I'm hoping nobody comes in and it's banged in. Because like I said, I touched the foundation rings and under the outside. So this thing will only get 150. I don't know that that was the last price that it was. What was it sold for that, which is so.
Simply paid that.
Well, my guess is that they didn't pay that. Is my guess. Because they don't. Again, if it was the highest one, it was $125 to get it accepted off of it. So you can get a full inspection on it, and then renegotiate it. Right. Yeah, I mean, Josie was basically like, he's at 82. Close to 100. And I know how much that foundation is going to cost. I know how much that roof's going to cost. So I know foundation work. Yeah, I mean, I think before we touched anything, we were like 50 or 60,000. So it's like, and we've got 100 left to update the bathrooms and paint. Okay, so we don't even need the number 4 from this week. The other thing that I'm talking about how she could negotiate for the housing authority and just let her do that with issue the realtor because we're not making anything on it. We wouldn't be making anything on it. She wouldn't be making anything on it. We wouldn't be making time. It would be wholly as a part of the housing authority as opposed to Kevin Wood being realtor for Kevin. So, does anybody have any comments? I am anxious to know if I mean, how do you guys feel about that? If we could, I'm just going to throw it, if we could allocate $10,000 to them or up to X amount of dollars after things have been figured out that they know what kind of amount of time it's going to be for them.
I guess I'm just wondering why they food and this is why I asked who the ordinance officer reports to, because this is a good if we had problems with rate ordinance, we would need the ordinance officer involved. Who apparently is in a different department. So I'm really confused on yes. And so I guess if we're getting pushback from the utility department,
Yeah, so for instance, if Chip, my question is, that house across from the Dairy Barn, that's the gas station right there, that half house that burnt down, would that essentially initially fall underneath Leatherman to go to the building inspector? Would that be the process?
If there's a code violation, as in like building code, anything from the exterior, that's all we deal with. So he would then
Leatherman
would reach out to the property owner. Yes.
Then the building inspector would be notified, or that would be
If it's, I don't know.
right. I just yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, he can just go through it. Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question.
Right. Because what's the difference between him being a ordinance? What is it? This is
code enforcement.
Code enforcement and being a police officer.
He can't arrest people.
So you just can't arrest people. But like if somebody's parked over the sidewalk, you can go give them a violation.
No.
He can't.
He can give them, that is a violation.
Yeah.
But yeah, he cannot write tickets.
Okay.
He's a retired police officer.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get the mayor a couple of pictures of you. Come in, talk about that. I'm assuming because that's the only place that people have accounts payable. There's no other place. There's no other places. Yeah, the treasurer works there, and that's the only place that you don't go anywhere else to pay the account either. So anything you have, I would assume. Do you pay a parking ticket here? Okay. So you don't go to the police department. Yeah, from the entire city. So I don't know that it's actually a utility issue. It's just that's the most things that they handle. Like a curb cut permit is not a utility issue. It's a street maintenance. It's a street maintenance. So they handle all accounts payable. It's not their duty. It's part of the line that falls under them. But most of their time is spent with utility and utility with funds and so I can understand. I knew where she was going with that.
Okay.
That's why.
Her terminology.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying, is there a dollar amount that could be allocated to them? I would say up to X dollar amount. Once, if we get this going, to know the amount of time they have in dealing with this.
2 years ago, I'm not information.
Yes.
So, the county has permits. You have to pay $20 a year. If I come and check these deals, I have 147 places. It took Laura about 2 days to put the database together. Got the forms to everybody. They bring them in right there. And now we actually just set it up. They can do it online now. They don't even have to mail it in. We used to email them and they mail it back to us. It takes her no time at all.
Now, I mean, she is new, so I'm sure that she's drinking through the fireplace still. I guess. Yeah. If those even know.
I'm going to call BS on her feedback. They left the food beverage. I don't remember going to the school when they table was the other.
We called every restaurant. Yeah, we reached out to, and not all of them, but we reached out to 10 of the restaurants, like Square and. Several of them went down and testified to the state because we had to testify to the state. So yes, I mean they were fine with it because it was building the community, that goes to Eagle Park.
I really heard that. I really do. I've seen that before. I think it would be eventually we could bring you could go in conjunction with like, right, I can name it Carol. It could be a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are, but they're not voting the way that people want them to become. And that's the hard part is convincing people that this is good for our community. While it's not a $50 million evil party that could not, it'll eventually happen. Who knows how long it takes, but it'll eventually happen. These are going to be smaller. I mean, again, to do your sidewalk around your house could be $4,000. And you do 50/50 sidewalks, it's $2,000, we can give you $500, and you're only paying $1,500. And or, you know, getting a small personality just kind of for yourself. I mean, $1,500, your property value goes up, your neighbor's property value goes up, in turn, tax dollar will go up, in turn, more money will go up. I mean, it just is, I don't know if everybody looks at it that way.
Well, it's no different than insurance. We all pay for insurance. We don't all benefit from insurance. No different. Some of the Browns or whatever she said, Bowers, they may not need it. Good for them.
Yeah. I'm glad that they
But
take care of their property.
it would be there if they did.
Sure. Hey, we'd like to put a new driveway in at one of our houses.
Yeah, maybe they're like, oh gosh, not a bad year. We would be there if they needed it. Good for them if they don't. I think it's the concept of how it's being viewed. Really. And maybe they need to have a department that separates a utility from every other payment form. And I don't know how to change it. I'm not judging, but it just seems like it's all grouped into one. Maybe it needs to be separate.
I think I'm kind of surprised there's only two people. That's what she said. That's what
She has two, it's broke up. She has two billing clerks, two like receiving clerks, assistant clerk, and then a accounts payable clerk. So there's a lot in there, but you know, they're.
But not.
Yeah, I mean, they're always busy, I'll say that.
Yeah. Do a lot of people still come in and pay their bill?
It's 3% if you pay with credit card.
Yeah.
I don't.
I just mean like direct deposit.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of.
You know,
It's ridiculous what they charge if you pay online.
I have mine linked to my
Bank account.
bank account, so I have